Hi, I'm Pat Fiume. I've been a realtor for over 30 years. I'm a host of the American Dream Show. Welcome to my show, Is This for Real Estate? Welcome back. I'm here with Rick Pettit, who is with Eastern Home Inspections. Probably the number one thing that most realtors and home buyers think about when they buy or sell a home is they worry about the home inspection or think about getting one done at the very least. So welcome to the show.
Thank you, Pat.
And I'm glad you came on because that was one of the people I've been wanting to get here as a home inspector. I appreciate it. So tell us, what do you, I guess when buyers call you, what's the process, I guess, to begin with?
Well, the process is kind of simple to get it going. You got the hard part.
Yeah, I did the new, yeah.
You know, selling the house, I've always said I never wanted to be a realtor. It's much too difficult. God bless you all. But, you know, we get the call after they're out of attorney review. And, you know, we just set up an appointment and, you know, we have a number of different fellas and we'll meet them out at the property, you know. The buyers will show up, you know, like with you guys. And then we commence. Now, all the inspectors do it a little differently, you know. Some guys will start on the outside, other guys will start on the inside. But just with my company, Eastern Home Inspections, I started it in 1986.
I was going to say, you've been around as long as I have.
1986. And we eventually became the largest inspection company in New Jersey.
I was going to say, are you a franchise or a chain or?
No.
Wow.
No,
so all yours. Okay.
Me and a partner. I have a partner,
Okay.
Bill. And at one point in time, we had 14 inspectors doing about
Wow.
100 inspections a week.
That's amazing.
Nobody even close.
Eastern, I've had a lot of your home inspections on my properties, my listings and buyers. Yeah.
And now, today, you probably have more of the people that work for me because success breeds more success, and many
And
of
more
the fellows
paperwork.
went out on their own. We have
Yeah.
launched about 6 or 8 other companies as the guys get really good at what they do, and then
They want to go out on their own.
So
Yeah.
today we have 5 guys, and you know, we all do a good job, you know. But you know, there's been a transition recently in the real estate business because of the competitive multi. You know, people are putting in offers, and you'll get 10 offers for one home. So
At least, yeah. And they want to. Some people are saying they'll waive the home inspection, which is a huge no-no.
yeah,
We don't really like. I don't personally recommend that to anybody. Which
it happens sometimes, and I've had situations where I have gone out. I've had the buyer call me and say, "Listen, I can't get an inspection. Would you please come out? And you're just going to be my cousin Rick, and
cousin Vinny.
I would love to hear this.
So would I.
and would you go through the home with me? And you
Uncle
know,
Louie.
and you can't bring in anything.
Right,
I got
right.
a flashlight, you know.
Yeah. But at least you can see if something's really major red flag, I guess.
I did that a number of times.
Yeah, that's a good idea, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Or do it during attorney review.
I have one fella that I did this for about 3 years ago, and I just got another email from him the other day. He says, "Rick, I'm going to have to put you on retainer, you know, because he keeps getting contractors out to do things that he doesn't feel are right, and sometimes they're
And
not,
that's
you know?
true. That
And
is
so
very
I've been
true.
like, I say, Joe, don't worry about it. Just like,
Well, I've been seeing a real uptick in that now that you're saying that. Like I just had it happen with a property last week that the buyer's mother got involved and insisted it wasn't done right, and it was a licensed contractor who did the work, you know, and he kept saying there weren't vents there, and there was 4 vents, and the home inspector missed them. I don't know why, but they were there because the homeowner went back. It was like a huge fight, but then they finally found them, you know.
yeah.
They weren't, I guess, where he was looking. But, you know, we see, even from a realtor's perspective or a seller's perspective, I feel if a buyer and seller don't do a home inspection, it's a very strong case for a liability factor for us. Like if someone doesn't do one, and then, especially, I can't tell a buyer to waive. I know a realtor right now that's getting sued. He told them to waive all inspections, and they found like $100,000 worth of termite damage. It was a huge number.
Scary, yeah.
You know, that's the other thing. A termite person and home inspector, I guess, work hand in hand. Like, I usually call a termite person to come in when I'm having my home inspection at the same time, because if they find something, you can look at it and say, hey, that's structural.
At Eastern, like we're a full service company, so we do.
You do both.
Everything.
That's good to know.
We do repairs. We do termite. Pest
Oh,
control.
okay, good.
We do sewer scopes. We do tank sweeps. We do mold. We do remediation. Now, the other day,
Wow.
I got a call this afternoon from Scout Carroll out in Freehold, and the fella wants to remove the oil tank by himself. By himself. He's the buyer. And I said, Carol.
Oh my God.
I said, Carol, listen, I'm going to tell you this right now. If he insists on that, you better get a release signed.
Yep.
I said, you have to protect yourself. One of the things we have to do as, inspectors and home inspectors, we all have a pre-inspection agreement. But every once in a while, as
you get somebody,
you get a situation like this, I said, Carol, you make him sign off on this.
Oh, my broker had, when we've had discussions about this at meetings for years, and I actually have either a form, like if another realtor doesn't do a home inspection on my listings, I either make them have them sign the form, or at least send me an email that my buyer is not doing a home inspection, because I don't want them to come back years later and say I wouldn't let them in, or my seller didn't give them an opportunity, because I've had that happen before.
You have to protect
You have to
yourself.
protect CYA.
Because the thing is, and I've told people, and one thing is to make very clear, I am not an alarmist.
Right.
I've been doing this for too long.
Right.
And everything can be fixed.
Anything can be fixed.
And what I tell all my guys all the time is, listen, just don't miss anything.
Right.
I don't care how detailed you get into description. It's not all that necessary. Just don't miss it.
Right.
So that the buyer's informed. And so later on, they can have a discussion whether they're going to get a credit or it's going to be repaired.
Right.
But it's very important in order to make sure you're covered. You don't want to miss anything.
And I guess you have insurance if you do. Do you have liability insurance?
We have insurance, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got insurance.
And so where do you work out of? Are you licensed in more than one state to do inspections?
We are. Well, we're licensed in New Jersey and Pennsylvania.
Okay. Because a lot of agents are doing both states now.
Yeah.
I'm seeing it more and more actually than ever.
In Pennsylvania, you have to be nationally certified,
Okay.
which we are. But in the city of Philadelphia, they have their own licensing.
Really?
So
That's interesting.
If you have a national certification, you have to have a different license.
Is that the ASHI designation?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
ASHI certified.
Okay.
But that doesn't qualify me to go into the city of Philadelphia. You have to have a separate license. So we don't bother with the city, but
City
anything
limits,
outside
yeah.
we can do.
Sounds like this, like Willingboro Township, like besides their CO, they have like
Oh yeah.
they have like 7 or 8 different inspections, and you have to be from their pool of people that they want you to
just
pick
added
from
one,
too. Willingboro did another one?
They now require a sewer scope on.
Oh, I had that, yeah, a sewer scope, yeah. A lot of
They've got
towns
the
are adding
arms
sewer
for,
scopes.
piping inside.
Yeah.
This stuff is just like, it's just
Yeah.
fiber material that they thought
Yeah.
at the time was going to work for a sewer.
That's like
waistline.
Medford just added sewer scopes too. I've had 2 or 3 of them in the last year that,
Yeah.
I just had one in Cherry Hill that they were fighting back and forth. The home inspector said that the sewer was clogged because there was like, he opened it up. Then we get a plumber there, a sewer guy came.
Yeah.
He didn't know what he was doing. He did it from in the house instead of from the outside, which was the right way to do it, to run the scope through, because it was clogged. It was stopping.
Yeah.
Because there was a huge tree there. So there's multiple issues there.
Yeah,
So I had a plumber come, and I actually have a family member who has an excavation business, and he has a lot of contractors. So I had him come give me an estimate for a new sewer line along with the plumber, and I actually got a tree service person there because that tree had to come down because they couldn't even fix the sewer. It was so big. So it can get really complicated from other factors too.
I do the sewer scopes. And
That's good to know.
and do them every day. And the problem is that when I got into the business, those waistlines, cast iron, were in decent shape still. You know.
Yeah, they're a
But
lot more
30 years
shot.
later,
Yeah.
you know, they're falling apart. And you know, they spoil from, you know, they often, you know, they'll spoil on the inside, and then the seams will open, the roots will get in. But even if there's not a tree there, you know, the deterioration over 60
Absolutely.
years, they just fall apart. And so then, you know, they have to be, you know, upgraded or replaced. And it's so important that the buyers, you know, if they're buying a house prior to like 1980, you know,
You
now
should have a sewer
they should have a
scope done.
sewer scope, because it's,
That's a very expensive thing to fix. When it goes,
well,
very
there's-
expensive.
There is a fix that is expensive. Like, they can line those things
Right,
now.
like a chimney liner almost. Oh, that's interesting. I never heard that before.
But yes, that's a possibility.
But how do you put that big thing in there? you
Well,
know?
I just went to a seminar about a year ago on it, and it was fascinating. You know, they can do it.
Yeah, that's interesting.
But, you know, on the other hand, if it's like, well, you can't, this Orangeburg from, you know,
Right.
the stuff up in Williamboro, you can't,
Yeah.
there's no fixing that. You know, and if it's collapsed, no
Well, there's-
fixing that.
Yeah,
So
there's-
that's probably today, outside of what you mentioned earlier, Pat, was with the termite damage. It might be the single largest expense
That people
are
should be,
worried about.
and they should be looking at. A lot of
Yes.
people don't think about the sewer lines, and that, I think that's a huge thing.
You'll see, you go into the house, and for realtors, one of the things, I've got a lot of realtors over the years, and they say, Rick, I'm so glad I learned something every time. Well,
Yeah,
now
that's
what
true.
they learn is they go in, and you see the new Schedule 40 PVC in the house, and then at the basement where the foundation wall is, it stops, and you see the collar for
Right.
the cast iron.
Right.
And I go, well, they replaced everything up to the foundation, and there
The
was
most-
a reason for that. You know,
Right.
that's where the money is, you know, on the other
Exactly.
side of that wall.
Yep,
The
that's
inside's
true.
a piece of cake, you know?
Right.
Easy to do.
So you've been doing this a long time. What's your story that you tell people at the party or the cocktail party, or that you laugh, everybody laughs about? Do you have any good stories that you tell that are
asked me
funny?
about that before.
Yeah.
And there's so many, and you know, it's funny. I didn't think of this one until I got here just now, listening to Grant before. I would say that there was one time years ago. I was doing a row home in Trenton. Now I'm going back quite a ways, but a lot of times those homes are connected by tunnels
Yes, yes.
and accesses, you know. So me, young and stupid, I have to get in this thing, you know. I decide I'm gonna get, so I'm crawling in and I'm going forward through this tunnel, and I reach sort of an impasse. I go, okay, this is far enough.
Oh,
got it.
claustrophobic, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
well,
God.
you haven't, wait till I finish.
Oh, no.
I start to back up, and I couldn't
You got
back up.
stuck?
I got stuck.
Oh, my God.
I got stuck.
That's terrifying.
So
That's like a nightmare.
I start yelling,
Help.
something like that.
Call the
And
fire
so
department.
the realtor and the buyer were there at the entrance. Now the entrance must have been a little bit, you know how they kind of be a little bigger, and then it goes like
Right,
this.
kind of tapers
So
in.
They got in to the hole, and each one grabbed a leg and pulled me out.
Well, thank you for coming on. I really appreciate the information. A lot of good advice there. And
My pleasure.
Eastern Home Inspections, if you need a good home inspector,
Call Rick.
call Rick.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome.
It's a pleasure to be here, Pat.
Thank you for coming.
Anytime.
Thank you.